Right now, beneath your feet, there is another world. If you live in or near any major city on Earth, then underneath the streets you walk every day lies a hidden, tangled labyrinth of tunnels stretching for miles in every direction. Some carrying trains, some carrying secrets, and some so old or so classified that almost no one alive knows exactly where they go. We build upward, into glittering skyscrapers we can all see. But we also build downward, into the dark. And that buried world is just as vast. We just never look at it. So who dug all these tunnels under our greatest cities, and why? The answers range from the practical to the genuinely strange. From hiding the dead, to smuggling, to building secret cities designed to keep a government alive through the end of the world. Today we're going underground, layer by layer, and we'll separate what's solidly documented from the rumors and myths. Because this is a topic where truth and legend are tangled together in the dark. Of course, the part everyone already knows is the subway. The train tunnels cities bored beneath themselves once the streets above grew too crowded to function. Some run shockingly deep, with stations far enough down to bury a 15-story building overhead. But the subway is just the top layer, the part they let you see. Go deeper, look closer, and the tunnels get older, stranger, and far more secretive. Because below the trains lies the city's hidden circulatory system. Vast tunnels carrying water, waste, and power. Some of them grand brick sewers centuries old and big enough to walk through. A modern city would die within days without this silent machinery feeding it from below. But that's just infrastructure. The truly fascinating tunnels were dug for stranger reasons entirely. Take the ones built not for the living, but for the dead. Beneath the romantic streets of Paris lies one of the most haunting spaces on Earth, the catacombs.
Centuries ago, the city had a gruesome problem. Its cemeteries were so overcrowded that bodies were literally overflowing into the streets, and the stench and disease became unbearable. The city needed somewhere to put millions of human remains, and waiting beneath the streets was the perfect hiding place. A vast network of old tunnels left behind by centuries of quarrying the very limestone used to build Paris itself. So, in the late 1700s, the city made a chilling decision. Over time, the bones of around 6 million people were carried down into these old quarries and stacked deep beneath the city. To this day, you can walk through corridors whose walls are built entirely out of human skulls and bones, arranged in eerie patterns. Think about that. The stone that built the glittering city above was dug from below, and the empty tunnels left behind became the resting place for millions of its own dead. The city is literally standing on its own hollowed-out foundations, filled with its ancestors. But the idea of an entire city underground isn't even modern, and this is one of the most astonishing facts of all. Long before subways or bunkers, ancient people were digging cities straight down into the earth. In one region famous for its soft volcanic rock, people carved out a colossal underground city many levels deep, plunging far below the surface, with room for thousands of people, their animals, and food stores. It had ventilation shafts for fresh air, wells for water, and huge round stone doors that could be rolled across the passages to seal the whole city off from the inside. And why build it? For protection. In dangerous times, when raiders swept across the land, entire communities could vanish underground, seal the doors behind them, and wait out the threat in the dark. These aren't myths, they're real, and you can walk through them today. It's humbling to realize that the instinct that drove Cold War leaders to build nuclear bunkers is the exact same instinct that drove ancient people thousands of years ago. When the world above becomes too dangerous, dig down and hide. Not every tunnel was dug for such solemn reasons, though. Some were carved out for crime. During the era when America banned alcohol by law, a whole secret economy went underground, sometimes literally. Hidden tunnels connected the basements of buildings, linking secret bars to warehouses, letting people move illegal liquor and themselves around without ever surfacing where the authorities could see them. Beneath certain old hotels, you can still find bricked-up doorways and forgotten passages that once let contraband move invisibly from one building to the next. And the same logic echoes right up to today. elaborate tunnels have been secretly dug beneath borders to move goods out of sight, some remarkably sophisticated, with lighting, ventilation, even small rail systems. It's a recurring theme in this whole story. Whenever there's something people want to do unseen, the tunnels beneath the surface offer the perfect cover. Out of sight, out of mind, out of reach. And that same instinct, moving unseen, runs right up into the corridors of power. Beneath many government districts run tunnels with one specific purpose: letting important officials travel between key buildings entirely underground, protected from weather, from crowds, and from anyone who might wish them harm. On the surface, they're just conveniences, but they hint at something deeper. The people who run a country need ways to move that the public can't see or follow. And that thought leads to the most dramatic reason anyone ever dug beneath a city: to survive the end of the world. The most extraordinary tunnels of all were born from fear, the fear of nuclear war. During the Cold War, the world's superpowers lived under constant threat of annihilation, and their governments quietly asked a chilling question: if the bombs fell, how would anyone in charge survive to keep the country running? The answer, in secret, was to go underground. In one famous case, a hidden bunker was built beneath a luxury resort, designed to house an entire legislature in an attack, kept stocked and ready for decades, while guests vacationed in the hotel above with no idea it was there. Behind ordinary-looking walls sat dormitories, meeting chambers, and broadcast studios, all waiting for a doomsday that, thankfully, never came, until the secret was finally exposed and the bunker decommissioned. And the most staggering underground city of all was built on the other side of the world, beneath one of the most populous capitals on Earth. During a period of intense nuclear fear, the leadership of a major Asian power ordered a vast subterranean city dug beneath the capital. And the scale is almost beyond belief. By some accounts, hundreds of thousands of ordinary citizens were mobilized to dig it out, sometimes with little more than their bare hands. The result sprawled across a huge area beneath the city, rumored to hold everything needed to survive sealed off from the surface. Living quarters, clinics, theaters, grain stores, even space to grow food, connected by miles of tunnels with concealed entrances supposedly hidden in shops and homes across the city. An entire shadow city, dug by hand, just in case the world above was destroyed. Most of it now sits silent and closed off, a colossal monument to a fear that mercifully never came to pass. Now we reach the part where documented fact blurs into rumor, and we have to tread honestly, because alongside the confirmed tunnels are persistent stories of systems so secret no government will fully admit they exist. The most famous is the legend of a hidden parallel subway said to run beneath one major capital. A secret line, separate from the public metro, supposedly built to whisk top officials from the seat of power out to distant bunkers in the event of war. The public rides the ordinary subway. Beneath it, the story goes, lies a deeper, secret network ordinary citizens have never seen and never will. So how much is true? Here's the honest answer. The fully detailed, secret subway remains officially unconfirmed and partly the stuff of legend, with the name itself reportedly popularized by journalists. But, and this is the key part, it is well documented that this and other capitals genuinely did build deep, secret command bunkers during the Cold War, real fortified spaces meant to keep leadership alive through a nuclear war. So the truth sits in a fascinating gray zone. The hidden command centers are real, the secret escape tunnels are plausible, and the full dramatic legend remains unproven. The line between confirmed history and underground myth runs right through the dark. And then there are the tunnels dug not to shelter people, but to spy on them. Some of the most audacious operations in history were secret espionage tunnels. Passages dug quietly beneath a divided, hostile city for the sole purpose of eavesdropping on the other side. In one legendary Cold War operation, intelligence agents secretly excavated a tunnel reaching beneath enemy territory to physically tap into the communication cables buried there.
For a time, an entire nation's secret messages flowed right over the heads of spies hidden in a tunnel they dug specifically to listen in, one of the great intelligence coups of its era, until it was discovered. These reveal yet another face of the underground. Not a refuge, not a transport route, but a weapon, a way to reach unseen beneath an enemy's feet and steal their secrets right out from under them. Some of these hidden spaces feel almost melancholy. As cities changed over more than a century, plenty of what they built underground was simply abandoned. Subway stations closed and bricked up, left frozen in time with their old tilework intact, sealed away just behind the walls that today's commuters rush past without knowing. And sometimes, an entire piece of a city ends up underground almost by accident. There are places where a great fire or flood destroyed the lower streets, and rather than clear the ruins, people simply rebuilt a full story higher, sealing the old street level beneath the new one. Today, you can descend a staircase from a modern sidewalk and suddenly find yourself walking down a perfectly preserved road from a century ago, the old shop windows still staring out into the gloom. A whole slice of the past, swallowed and preserved beneath the living city. These abandoned spaces have given rise to a whole subculture of urban explorers, people who slip into the forgotten corners of the underground to photograph these eerie, beautiful time capsule rooms. It's a strange and wonderful thought that beneath the bustling, living city, there are perfectly preserved stations and corridors that no one uses anymore, hanging in silence and darkness like the city's own forgotten dreams. Some explorers chase rumors of sealed-off platforms behind station walls, half-finished tunnels that dead-end in the black, and gated stairways that seem to lead nowhere. And the deeper they go, the blurrier the line gets between what's genuinely down there and what's only legend. Of course, all this darkness has bred its share of legends, and it's worth naming them as stories, not facts. For as long as cities have had sewers, people have whispered about what might live down there. Monstrous creatures lurking in the lightless waterways beneath the streets. It's a tale told in city after city, and it has almost never turned out to be true. But the legend reveals something deep about us. The world beneath our feet is dark, hidden, and just out of sight, and the human imagination cannot stand an unknown space, so we fill it with monsters. The very same instinct that fills unexplored tunnels with rumors of secret cities and aliens also fills the sewers with imaginary beasts. The truth is almost always more mundane, but the darkness will always tempt us to dream up what might be hiding in it. And that's exactly why the grander conspiracy claims, vast secret cities spanning whole countries, tunnels hiding fantastical things, should be met with healthy skepticism. Secrecy is the perfect soil for legend. When you can't see something, and no one will talk about it, imagination rushes in to fill the void. The genuinely documented truth is astonishing enough without inventing more. There's another dramatic reason cities dug downward: war. When death rains from the sky, the safest place is underground. And history is full of moments when whole populations fled beneath their own cities to survive. During the bombing of major cities in the Great Wars of the last century, people crowded into subway tunnels night after night, turning systems built for trains into vast communal shelters where families slept on the platforms while explosions shook the streets above. The very tunnels dug to move commuters became, in the city's darkest hours, the thing that kept thousands alive. And in some conflicts, tunnels became entire hidden battlegrounds, immense networks of narrow passages stretching for miles, complete with living quarters, kitchens, and command posts from which fighters could appear, strike, and vanish back underground, almost impossible to find. When the world above becomes a battlefield, humanity disappears into the earth. And some underground structures are built on a scale so vast they feel less like tunnels and more like cathedrals. When torrential rain hits a huge city, all that water has to go somewhere, or the streets drown. So some cities have carved out colossal flood control systems beneath them. Deep under one major metropolis,
lies a flood tunnel so enormous that its main chamber is a vast hall held up by rows of towering concrete pillars, like an underground temple built by giants.
Most of the year it sits empty and silent, a breathtaking cavern in the dark. But when the great storms come, it roars to life, swallowing entire rivers' worth of floodwater and saving the city above from disaster. A structure of staggering scale that protects millions of people who will never once see it with their own eyes. We pour some of our greatest engineering into the parts of the city no one ever looks at. Now, you might be wondering, how do you even dig these tunnels in the first place, deep beneath a crowded, living city without the whole thing collapsing? It's one of the unsung marvels of engineering. The most powerful tool in the modern underground is the tunnel boring machine. A colossal mechanical worm, sometimes longer than a football field, that grinds its way through rock and soil. As it chews forward, it simultaneously lines the tunnel behind it with rings of concrete, building the finished passage as it goes, so the earth never gets a chance to cave in. Before such machines existed, tunnels were clawed out by hand, with workers in a protective shield carving the earth inch by painstaking inch, shoring up the walls as they advanced. Digging beneath a city is a delicate, dangerous art. You have to thread between existing tunnels, avoid weakening the foundations of the buildings overhead, and contend with underground rivers, unstable ground, and pockets of gas. Every great tunnel beneath a city is an enormous, invisible feat of human nerve. We take the hollow earth beneath our feet for granted, but every passage down there was wrestled out of solid ground by someone, against real danger, so the city above could grow. It's worth pausing, too, on just how secret some government tunnels remain even today. Many capitals are honeycombed with what are quietly called continuity passages, tunnels designed so that, in a crisis, the essential machinery of government can keep functioning underground while chaos reigns above.
Some link key buildings to hardened command posts. Others are escape routes leading away from the centers of power. The full maps of these systems are among the most closely guarded secrets a nation keeps, for an obvious reason. A hostile force that knew exactly where the leaders would flee and how could exploit it catastrophically. So they're built and updated in near total secrecy, their entrances disguised as ordinary doors, their existence neither confirmed nor denied. Beneath the very streets where tourists take photos and citizens go about their day, there may be hidden arteries built for one purpose: keeping a government alive through the unthinkable, whose full extent we will likely never know in our lifetimes. The most important tunnels of all may be the ones we can never see, and not every underground world is grim or secret. Some were dug simply so people could escape the weather. In certain cities where winters are brutally cold or summers blisteringly hot, planners built entire underground pedestrian cities, vast networks of climate-controlled tunnels lined with shops, restaurants, and walkways, connecting buildings for miles so people can work, shop, and commute without ever stepping outside. On a freezing day, thousands stream through these bright, warm underground streets while a blizzard howls overhead, doing their shopping in a hidden city beneath the real one. They're among the busiest underground spaces in the world, and yet someone walking the streets above might never realize a whole second city is humming with life beneath the sidewalk. There's a deeper truth in all of this, about why the underground grips us so powerfully. A tunnel is the one part of a city you're not supposed to see. The surface is the city's public face, designed, decorated, presented to the world. But the underground is its unconscious, the place where it stores everything it would rather keep out of sight: its waste, its dead, its secrets, its fears, its escape routes, its forbidden business. When you go beneath a city, you're not just descending through layers of earth, you're descending through layers of honesty. Down there, stripped of the polished surface, you find what the city above is really made of, and really afraid of. We sense, correctly, that the truth of a place lies not in its shining towers, but in what it has buried. So let's come back up to the surface and answer the question we started with. Who built the tunnels under our cities, and why? The answer is a layered portrait of everything humanity wants and fears. We dug to hide our dead when the world above ran out of room. We dug to hide ourselves from danger in ancient cities and modern bunkers alike. We dug to break the law in secret, to let the powerful move unseen, and to listen in on our enemies. And in our most fearful hour, we dug to survive the apocalypse, carving whole cities out of the earth in case the one above us was destroyed. Every layer beneath a city is a frozen snapshot of what the people above were thinking, their ambitions, their anxieties, their secrets. The next time you walk down a city street, remember that it's really a ceiling. Beneath your shoes lies a buried history of human hope and human dread, written in tunnels in the dark. We are a species that builds toward the sky to show off and digs into the earth to hide. And almost everything we've ever wanted to keep secret we have, at one time or another, buried beneath our own feet.